So I feel like it's been forever since I filmed, and that's because it pretty much has. I think it's been a month since I last filmed a video, might even be a little longer, but I've been really busy with work and just a little overwhelmed, so I haven't done a ton of video editing. I had a video that I was working on editing for 2 weeks and I just wasn't feeling it. After I did my prom tutorial, I was just so stuck on it. I was just so obsessed with it and happy with that video and that look, and I felt like anything I did after just didn't compare, so I was in a little bit of a rut, but I think I finally slowly found my way out of it. So if you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye! Alright, I already did my brows because that part is boring. I'm starting off by priming my face with the SMASHBOX primer water. This stuff is amazing. I'm sure you've seen it everywhere because it's totally worth the hype. And then I am taking Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation in 0.5 and Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I'm not sure what the shade name of that one is off the top of my head, but I know it's the second to lightest shade, and I will list it down below. And I'm just dabbing those in with a damp beauty blender. This is the Pro Beauty Blender, the black one. Obviously, you can tell it's black. And this one is not supposed to show any stains. It still shows stains, but not like a pink one does. And I don't know, I just feel like it does the job a lot better than a pink one does. Maybe it's just me, but this is all I have been using for the past 2 weeks, and I am literally obsessed. Now I'm taking MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW15, which is also the lightest shade, and I'm dabbing that underneath the eyes, in between the eyebrows, and on my chin, and I'm also blending that in with a damp beauty blender. I'm not going for a super highlighted look underneath the eye. I don't want it to be obnoxiously bright like normal because this look is all about the glowy skin, but if you want to, you could go super highlighted. Now I'm taking a pink beauty blender. This one is damp, but it has dried out quite a bit. And I'm going to be putting that into my MAC Pro Emphasize and setting my concealer with that. And you're probably thinking, what is she doing setting her concealer with a damp sponge? But something about that damp beauty blender just makes this so flawless, and I actually end up going back later with a brush and kind of touching it up. You don't really need to touch it up, but just to make it a little more sturdy, I guess you could say. Now I am taking this highlight that I got in my Ipsy Glam bag for the month of May, and this is Vintage by Jessica Liebskind. Liebskind, is that correct? I have no idea. The shade is in Crystal Pink, and I am absolutely obsessed with this highlighter. I use it on my face, I use it on my eyes, I use it everywhere, and when I run out of it, I'm going to have to buy another one because it's amazing. And I don't know, I might see if I can find some more of her products. But anyways, I'm just putting that at the tops of the cheekbones, on my nose, on my cupid's bow, underneath my bottom lip. And now I'm setting everything with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I should have done this before I highlighted, I know, but you can still see the highlight when I'm done, so it's not a big deal. But typically I would highlight after doing my powder. So just setting everything with that powder, and you'll be able to see I still look pretty glowy. And this is MAC Blush in Taupe, and I'm just contouring using an e.l.f. tapered brush. I think that's all it's called. And I'm just putting this in the hollows of my cheeks and a little bit on my temples. And this brush, I think, is like $3. This is the best thing I have found to contour with, and I don't use anything else to contour with, so I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So just the hollows of my cheeks. So we're bronzing and contouring. We're going to do the whole 9 yards. So I am going to go back in with another bronzer a little later. You can see when I get excited about how good it looks, and I just make these little faces, and it's weird, I know. So these Clinique Cheek Pop blushes, these are not new. They do have a couple new shades, but the whole idea is not new. This is in Peach Pop, and I am addicted to these. Like, I think one day I used 2 different ones because they're so pretty. They just add the prettiest sheen, but not sheen, but just, I don't know, it looks so natural. And with this look, this Peach Pop is perfect. And I have found the best way to apply these is with a super fluffy brush like this. And it's flawless. It just looks so natural. I was having a conversation with my mom the whole time. Okay, this is a Pixi Bronzer in Summertime, and this also came in my Ipsy, and I think it's a full size. And I love this new product as well for glow. It just adds such a nice, natural, just sun-kissed look to the skin, and I'm addicted to it as well. Now I'm going in with my Naked Basics palette. My Naked Basics 2 palette, because what would a tutorial from me be if it didn't have the Naked Basics 2? And this is a fluffy brush, and I'm just taking that second to lightest shade as a transition shade and dusting that into my crease. And this brush was also in my Ipsy glam bag last month. Dude, they hit it out of the park in the month of May with Ipsy. And I got it right before I went to Pennsylvania, so I didn't do a video on it, but I was so impressed with it. I gave it like a 10 out of 10. And there's that same highlight. And we're just going to put this on a pencil brush and put it in the inner corners of the eye. And I noticed when I'm watching this footage that you can't really see the sheen that it gives on the inner corners. But what I'm actually doing is kind of rounding out where my nose kind of meets my cheek, if that makes any sense at all. But it just adds a really nice pop. Okay, so now I am taking just a kind of shimmery brown. You could actually use that same bronzer for this. This came out of the Clinique palette that I got last week. I'm not sure the name of it. I know, I'm terrible. But I just did a brown in the outer V, kind of. Not even really the outer V, just kind of the outer crease. And then I'm just taking a light champagne shimmery shade and putting that all over the lid. And that's all we're going to do with the eyes, with the exception of highlighting the brow bone. And I don't think I showed that in the video, but I just used the same pink highlighter that I used on my face. Dab, dab, dab. Dab, dab, dab. Dab, dab. I don't know what I'm doing. Ignore me. Okay. And then I'm just taking the blending brush from before with no additional product and blending that out. And I love, love, love these eyes. Now I'm tight lining with a Bella Pierre gel liner, which also came from May's Ipsy glam bag. Yeah, I didn't even realize, like, I was not attempting to make this an Ipsy, but it pretty much is. So I'm just tight lining my upper lash line and then putting a little bit of that in my waterline. Nothing too harsh because I want my eyelashes to really stick out. So now I'm just spraying my face with my L'Oreal Infallible Spray, which I'm almost out of. This is a Pixi balm thing. I don't even know. I think it's called Coral Crush. And then this is a NYX butter lipstick. I don't know the name of it, but I will put it down below. I hate not knowing, but I don't have it in front of me, so I apologize. And I just mix the two of those together to make a really nice kind of corally, purpley lip. And now I'm just curling my eyelashes. I hate curling my eyelashes. It gives me the creeps. Just thinking about it. And then I'm taking CoverGirl Clump Crusher. This is my favorite drugstore mascara of life. And, you know, it's not that old, but I want to say I've been using it since I was a senior in high school, so like 4 years, which it doesn't even seem like it's that old to me. I feel like it just came out, but I love it. And I love the wand, and I like that it separates my lashes and gives them nice length and volume. And for this look, I really like the dramatic eyes. And then I'm topping that with a Buxom lip gloss in the shade Taylor, which is just kind of an orangey crimson red kind of color. And that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you next week with another video. Bye! I was in Pennsylvania last week. My friend Olivia got married, and so my friend Austin and I drove to Pennsylvania and then all the way back, and in a matter of, I think, 4 or 5 days. And we were exhausted, and by the time I got back I just wasn't even thinking about anything else but sleep. I'm the kind of person where I don't sleep good unless I'm in my own bed, so I was struggling quite a bit while we were gone. In fact, this time last Sunday I was still writing. I wasn't even home yet, so it just kind of sickens me to think about it. But anyway, okay, so on the way we stopped in DC. I've never been to DC, so I was really, really excited. I love history and I've always wanted to go, but I've just never had the chance to. So we stopped in DC and we took a lot of pictures. Like, we took a lot of pictures, but we were taking like selfies. We were with Austin's phone because he has a much bigger phone than I do, and he was taking them. I think he was taking them. And we were looking back at the pictures later, and there was these 2 punks behind us like photobombing the entire time. And luckily they weren't very good pictures of us, and I told him, I was like, it's okay, the pictures aren't that good. And he was so annoyed. He's like, no, it's the principle of it, which I agree. And I'm gonna show you guys one of the pictures. I'm gonna zoom in so you can't even tell that it's us. But look at these 2 little punks. These little buttheads. And there's one picture where they're like, and then there's one where they're like, haha, like laughing, and then they were just smiling the rest of the time. But come on, like, you little buttheads. We were mad. We were so mad. He was especially mad. Can you see the flowers back there? Okay, so yesterday, first of all, let's premise this a little bit. I filmed this entire video yesterday, and I was watching some of the footage back, and I hated everything about it. I hated the way my skin looked. It was blurry. It wasn't in focus. And I was like, it's okay, I'll just redo it. So yesterday, right before I sat down to film, my brother calls me and he says, I need a favor. I'm like, okay. And he had found a stray dog. Not a stray dog, a lost dog. It wasn't a stray. It had a little tag and everything. So I'm picturing like a huge dog that's dirty and gross and like on its deathbed. Like, that's what I'm picturing. No, it was a cute little Maltese. We called the lady, finally ended up calling us back, and she brought those really pretty flowers over there to thank us. And it was a huge bouquet. I just took some of them and put them in here, and then the rest of them are in the kitchen. But they're so pretty, and I don't even know what they're called. Are they lilacs? Does anyone know? They're gorgeous. And I had a mason jar because I used to be obsessed with mason jars. Like, I used to keep all my makeup brushes in them. So I just put them in a mason jar, and I have a candle burning back there. And I just love them. I wish they were fake so they would last forever.